Let's talk about Aruba's Multizone. This is in chapter 4 of the ACMP curriculum. So let's get started. Hello and welcome, friends. If this is the first time you're here and just want to know about Multizone, Aruba's Multizone, then you're good. Continue watching. But if you want to learn wireless LAN from the vendor HPE Aruba, please take a look at my series of videos on this. This is the fourth one in that series where we're talking about multi-zone. So why is the purpose for multi-zone? The goal for the multi-zone is to have one AP broadcast wireless LAN SSID from different controllers, from different managed devices per se. Let's focus on that one for a second. Let's take an airport and its wireless infrastructure. So, BNA, Nashville Airport, they have their own wireless infrastructure, Aruba's infrastructure. They have mobility masters and they have a mobility controller in clusters. They manage all their APs. Now, American Airlines came to them and they said, "Hey, I need to broadcast an SSID for my Admiral Lounge. So I have it ready. It's called American Airlines or AA. Can I use your APs to broadcast instead of installing my own AP?" BNA Airport Authority said, "Sure, why not?" So they created a multi-zone AP group, and they started. They just create the connectivity. It has to be a layer 3 connectivity, and they pointed in that AP group. They pointed the multi-zone controller, their profile, and set the IP address, how many controllers they have, and how many virtual AP they want to broadcast. That's it. And suddenly you see that wireless LAN for American Airlines start broadcasting through the APs managed by Nashville Authority's wireless infrastructure. Let's check it out on a whiteboard. Here we have our handy dandy infrastructure. We have two mobility master in high available settings, and we have two mobility controller, virtual mobility controllers in the Nashville cluster. AP2 here, our handy dandy. We have connection like active and AP anchor controller, and we have standby AP anchor controller. So far this is all fine. I have an SSID here, BNA, that is being broadcasted. That particular AP is in AP group 1 for remember. So what we're going to do, we're going to introduce another MC, a mobility controller. Now in my case, this is a this is a physical mobility controller 7005 series, and we are going to pretend that, not pretend, this is going to have to be a separate controller, not managed by this mobility master. It has to be a total separate device, maybe virtual, maybe physical. It could be another separate managed device managed by another cluster, but it cannot be managed by the primary infrastructure mobility master. So with that, we have one of these, and I have it configured with that IP 192.168.17.11. I do not have any APs in there. So what we're going to do, we are going to add this AP over here. However you do it, but that's not a main deal. What happened that this AP is going to now broadcast and virtual AP name, for example, American Airlines. That's the wireless LAN configured over here, and this AP is going to also broadcast this SSID. How is that going to work? Let's work through that on step by step. Here we have our make-believe wireless infrastructure for BNA. Here you can see that I have managed network device Nashville VMC1 and VMC2, and they're in the cluster. And you can see the wireless LAN BNA is being broadcasted, and it is a basic VLAN 15 for my infrastructure. And we have already one client here. And if you look into the APs, I have my handy dandy AP2, and it is broadcasting the SSID BNA. AP group 1, remember that is very important. So now, if you do not know how to create a wireless LAN, let me show you. I'm going to move over to American Airlines Mobility Controller, again, make believe, and I have to configure that. So we go to configuration and go to wireless LAN. You could do it at the mobility controller level, or you could do it at the mobility specific controller level. So here I have created a new wireless LAN, called it AA, and we selected the AP group 1, which I had created earlier, and we're going to hit next. So VLAN, I'm going to use the default VLAN 1. Okay, pause a second here. We're going to talk about security, WPA2, plain security, but we have option like WPA3, enterprise, and we have just basic ones. So let's take a look at WPA2 personal, just the PSK, and then the Aruba 123. That's our secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. So we got that configured, and we're going to use the basic logon role as authenticated. So that SSID is ready to go, and it is going to be broadcasted by Nashville Authority's AP. As you can see, there is no AP here, only the AP Group 1 created to match with the Nashville's AP Group 1. That's about it. At this point, we are ready to configure the multi-zone configuration on our primary zones controllers. Wanted to quickly show you that BNA SSID is showing up, but as you can see, I do not have the AA SSID, as because the AA SSID does not have an AP associated for it to show up. So it is just sitting there. So let's move forward to configuring the multi-zone. Instead of me blabbering, just listen to some music and follow through my steps. Okay, so here you can see multi-zone, even though we created that, it's not showing up. We go here in the profile. Now, this is by default, it's not there. You have to enable it under preference. If you do not do this, this particular profile here, it's not going to show up. So I have it enabled, and we go to profile, and right now default one was selected. So let's go ahead and select our new profile that we created. All right, pending changes, saved it. So for AP Group 1, or any APs that are in this AP Group 1, will have multi-zone configuration, and it is going to go ahead and then connect to this controller, and it's going to pull all of that, however many SSID that we have mentioned here, it is going to pull all of those. Right now it has one, and I have specified one wireless LAN, so it is going to just pull the first one available. So that is all as far as the base configuration, and it is very easy. I know it's, how is this even working without any credentials? Well, only because we know that we specifically told that AP to go to mobility controller 192.168.11.7, sorry, 17.11, which is the particular this one. And again, this one don't know about the AP, and all we have the CPSec enabled. Wow, look at that! It's already found my AP2, and let's take a look at it. And yep, AP group, it's a 225. So how do we know this is working? We can go here and take a look at the AP group We know AP group already has one AP. Initially, it did not. Let's take a look at the access point, and we see the AP2 has been taken care of. It's been onboarded here, and here the flag we see 2Z. 2Z is pretty much Z stands for data zone, and what it means, MC01 is just a data zone controller for AP2. It does not have management access to your AP2. Primary zone holds the manageability of AP2. This controller is just a data zone for AP2. Let's take a look at our wireless LAN AA showed up, American Airlines. AA SSID showed up, and I also have the BNA as usual, managed by the primary zone controllers. So there you have it. Just wanted to show you that I have connected my iPad with my MC01, the standalone controller, which is pretending to be the American Airlines controller. And you can see that my device is connected and it's got some traffic going. So definitely it goes out and it can access the network. And wanted to also show you one thing, that this particular controller, as far as wireless LAN goes, is hosting MC01, my particular, and it is being broadcasted, even though it does not have a particular AP of its own. It is a data zone AP, but is not having its own AP. It is still using AP2. That is my own AP2 from the primary zone controllers. So let's head over there and talk about the key factors or some tips and tricks for multi-zone. Go ahead and pause the video to read through these important notes. Also, there's a command to whitelist APs. So friends, this is it for Aruba's multi-zone. It is pretty straightforward technology, and I hope you have learned something from this today. If you do, please share your comments. I am a sucker for those and always look forward for those, that they kind of make my day if I see them. I'm here to respond if you have any questions, and subscribe if you like my tutorials and if you have learned something from them. Share this video to a friend that wants to learn wireless technologies, specifically Aruba's wireless LAN. And I'm here again to answer any questions you have. So thank you. And this is probably the last video for 2021. So happy New Year and hope to see you guys soon in 2022. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.